Okay, Dagger in the Library Longlist 2019. And these are all selected by nominations from libraries. And this is one of the few daggers where it's for an author rather than for a book. So the long-listed authors are MC Beaton, Simon Beckett, Mark Billingham, Christopher Brookmeyer, John Connolly, Kate Ellis, Sophie Hannah, Graham Masterson, Denise Mina, CJ Sansom, Kath Staincliffe, and Jacqueline Winspear. Thank you.
I said I was going to ask you for rounds of applause. Now we have a virgin in the room tonight. Did you know that? There is a virgin in this room. It's the first appearance in public of the new Crime Writers Association chair, Linda Stratman. So now, after that we have, how many debut authors are in the room? Only one? 2, 3, okay, that was a few. All right, yeah. For the debut dagger, we have the indefatigable Lee Russell.
The CWA Debut Dagger 2019 Longlist. For the opening of a crime novel from a writer without a traditional publishing contract. I do apologise if I mispronounce any names. The list is Shelley Burr for Wake, Marie Campbell-Jack for Self-Help for Serial Killers, Let Your Creativity Bloom, Jerry Krause, The Morning Light, Michael Fleming, The Fruits of Rashness, Carol Glaser, Down the Well, Catherine Hendricks, Hard Ways, Anna Maloney, The Right Man, David Smith, The Firefly, Fran Smith, A Thin Sharp Blade, Matthew Smith, A Wolf's Clothing.
As well as having a virgin in the room, I have a secret weapon in this room. Has anybody ever done those panels where when you ask the audience the questions, nobody volunteers a question? Nobody wants to be first. My secret weapon is where she's sitting, is this lady over here. Her day job is to wrangle Supreme Court judges. It's the inestimable Ayo Anatade.
Good evening. The CWA Short Story Dagger Longlist for 2019 are as follows. Room number 2 by Andrea Camilleri in Death at Sea, published by Mantle. Strangers in a Pub by Martin Edwards in 10-year stretch, edited by Martin Edwards and Adrian Muller, published by No Exit Press. How Many Cats Have You Killed by Mick Heron in 10-year stretch. Death Becomes Her by Sid Moore in the Strain Case book by Sid Moore, published by Point Blank Books. The Dummy's Guide to Serial Killing by Dinutere in The Dummy's Guide to Serial Killing and Other Fantastic Female Fables, published by Fantastic Books. I Detest Mozart by Teresa Solana in The First Historic Serial Killers by Teresa Solana, published by Bitter Lemon Press. Paradise Gained by Teresa Solana, and the last but no means the least, Bad Man by Lavi Tidhar in The Outcast Hours, edited by Mahvesh Murad and Jared Shurin, published by Solaris.
Making her way to the stage, as you can see, to announce the International Dagger is the unstoppable Janet Lawrence.
Steps nearly stop.
stop me. The 2019 CWA International Award. Now, I do apologise for the length of this, but it's an award that is given not only to the author, but to the translator as well. A bad translation can kill a book. Good translation can't rescue a bad book, but a bad translation can kill a really good book. So, here are the books with the authors and the translators. Dove Alphon, A Long Night in Paris, translated by Daniela Zamir, published by MacLehose Press. Karen Brennard, Weeping Waters, translated by Maya Fowler and Isabel Dixon, published Europa. Andrea Camilleri, The Overnight Kidnappers, translated by Stephen Sartarelli, published by Penguin. Gianrico Caraviglio, The Cold Summer, translated by Howard Curtis, published by Bitter Lemon Press. Keo Dahl, The Courier, translated by Don Bartlett, published by Orenda Books. Kaigo Higashino, Newcomer, translated by Charles Murray, published Little Brown. Martin Holman, Slugger, translated by A.A. Prime, published by Pushkin Vertigo. Johan Lear Horst, The Katharina Code, translated by Anne Bruce, published by Michael Joseph. Håkon Nessa, The Root of Evil, translated by Sarah Death, published by Mantle. Kay Rademacher, The Forger, translated by Peter Miller, published by Arcadia. Thank you. I'm going to stay.
In fact, it is Death. It is Sarah Death. I said, your name must be pronounced Diath. She says, no, it's Sarah Death. So how good are you at acronyms? Anybody? What does ALCS stand for? You know it. The Authors, Licensing and Collecting Society. So it's the Gold Dagger for Non-Fiction. And I'm going to read those out. I haven't got an adjective for myself. I'm sure you've come with a few, I'm sure. So, the CWA ALCS Gold Dagger for Non-Fiction 2019 Longlist. Sue Black, All That Remains, Transworld. Makita Brotman and Unexplained Death, Canongate. Rachel Brown, Trace, Scribe. Claire Harmon, Murder by the Book, Viking. Kirk Johnson, The Feather Thief, Hutchinson. Helena Kennedy, Eve Was Shamed, by Chatto. Sarah Longford, In Your Defense, Transworld again. Ben McIntyre, The Spy and the Traitor, Viking. Hallie Rubenholt, The Five, Transworld again. They're doing quite well, aren't they? David Wilson, My Life with Murderers. Thank you. Now, who's good Italian speakers here, or Latin? Okay, Sapere Historical Dagger. And for that we have Dee Parkin once again. Dee.
Hi, and I'd like to say a personal welcome to Sapere, who I know are here tonight, so thank you very much for sponsoring the Historical Dagger 2019. And this is the long list. Laura Shepherd Robinson for Blood and Sugar, published by Pan Macmillan Mantle. S.G. MacLean, Destroying Angel, by Quercus Fiction. Martin Edwards, for Gallows Court, Head of Zeus. Abir Mukherjee, Smoke and Ashes, Harville Secker. C.J. Sansom, Tombland, Pan Macmillan Mantle. S.W. Perry, The Angel's Mark, by Corvus. Alex Reeve, The House on Half Moon Street, Raven Books. Jim Kelly, The Mathematical Bridge, Alison and Busby. Ray Celestin, The Mobster's Lament, again Pan Macmillan Mantle. And Liam McIlvanney, a name you're all familiar with, I'm sure, for The Quaker, by Harper Fiction. Thank you.
Anybody here read John Creasy?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Richard Reynolds, well, you've read John Creasy. He's the man who founded the CWA, but I think he's probably not read a great deal these days. However, he has given his name to the New Blood Dagger. And the shortlist, or the long list I should say, for the New Blood Dagger is as follows. G.D. Abson, Motherland, Mirror Books. Claire Askew, All the Hidden Truths, Hodder and Stoughton. Alex Dahl again, The Boy at the Door, Head of Zeus. Mark Griffin, When Darkness Calls, Little Brown. Chris Hammer, Scrublands, Headline. Vicky Newham, Turn a Blind Eye, HQ. And then here's that young woman again, Laura Shepherd Robinson, Blood and Sugar. Pat McCallum. Catherine Stedman, Something in the Water, Simon & Schuster. Now this is a man who Adrian, one of your main coups here, was to get this man onto a stage, because he's the invisible man. Søren Sveistrup, who of course wrote The Killing, for The Chestnut Man, Penguin. And Vanda Simon, Overkill. Thank you. I once did a book in which I talked about Ian Fleming as being the best writer of popular fiction of the day. And the Ian Fleming Steel Dagger is to be, the long list is to be announced by the authoritative Corinne Turner.
That's probably about the only time ever referred to as authoritative, but there we go. So the CWA Ian Fleming Steel Dagger Longlist for 2019 is Give Me Your Hand by Megan Abbott, published by Picador. 13 by Steve Kavanagh, published by Orion. Safe Houses by Dan Vesperman, published by Head of Zeus. The Stranger Diaries by Ellie Griffiths, published by Quercus Fiction. No Tomorrow by Luke Jennings, published by John Murray. Lives Laid Away, Stephen Mac Jones, published by Soho Crime. The Wolf and the Watchman, Nicholas Nat Dag, I hope that's right.
That sounds right.
John Murray. Homegrown Hero, Kuram Raman, published by HQ. To the Lions by Holly Watt, published by Bloomsbury. And Memo from Turner, no relation, by Tim Willocks, published by Jonathan Cape.
You have to be very careful when you're doing this kind of thing. You have to think about who is in the room. I once did a panel, I think at Harrogate, with two women. One was Camilla Läckberg, and the other was Lisa Markland. And I couldn't introduce either of them as the queen of Swedish crime. They sat at angles to each other on stage. So I have a problem now. Who is Britain's best crime fiction bookseller? Because they're both in this room. One of them is over there, David Headley. And the other one is the incorrigible Richard Reynolds.
The CWA Gold Dagger 2019 long list. Claire Askew, All the Hidden Truths, Hodder and Stoughton. Belinda Bauer, Snap, Transworld. Ray Celestin, The Mobster's Lament, Pan Macmillan. M.W. Craven, The Puppet Show, Little Brown. John Harvey, Body and Soul, Cornerstone. Christabel Kent, What We Did, Little Brown. Donna Leon, Unto Us the Sun is Given, William Heinemann. John Lincoln, Fade to Grey, No Exit Press. David Mark, Cold Bones, Hodder and Stoughton. Derek B. Miller, American by Day, Transworld. Abir Mukherjee, Smoke and Ashes, Harville Secker. William Shaw, Salt Lane, River Run. Peter Swanson, Before She Knew Him, Faber and Faber. Andrew Taylor, The Fire Court, HarperCollins. And Benjamin Wood, A Station on the Path to Somewhere Better, Simon & Schuster Scribner. Thanks very much indeed.
Now, the 2019 winner of the Diamond Dagger, the really big one, the Lifetime Achievement Award is Robert Goddard. Now he'll be presented with this Diamond Dagger at our awards dinner on October the 24th. You're making a note of that? Everyone in the room, I'll be emceeing it, so don't miss that. And all the other Dagger winners that you've just heard, you'll hear the winner on that night. But we have a winner to announce tonight. The CWA Marjorie Allingham Short Story Competition. Janet.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. Marjorie Allingham, wonderful, wonderful writer. She was one of my great mentors when I was growing up. I read all her books. She's a wonderful writer. Anybody in this room not read Marjorie Allingham?
Come on, admit it.
No, no.
Somebody honest. Somebody honest.
Go, start, please start. You won't regret it. Okay, the short story competition, the shortlist. A Perfect Murderer by Ray Bazowski, a family affair about what happens when an imperfect family decide to get their own back on their tyrannical matriarch. Decluttering by Rosie DeVakey. Sometimes embarking on decluttering can be life-changing. Slippers Rail by Sherry Rankin. Money troubles, family ructions, a dead woman, and a rare bird. A fascinating, elegant mystery. Trick of the Eye by Louise Hornby. Just how unreliable is the witness who might have the key to an abduction that's stumping the police? We have both a winner and a runner-up. The winner is Ray Bazowski with A Perfect Murderer. He's from Toronto and can't be here today, so we'll send him his certificate, as I insist on pronouncing it. However, the runner-up is here, Rosie DeVakey with Decluttering. Rosie, come on. There's your certificate, and congratulations on your short story. Where do you come from? Because it was very much in the style of an American writer.
Yes. I had watched some American decluttering programs, and I had started the process, but I'm not suggesting that Marie Kondo or any of her suggesting murder or anything of that nature.
Very pleased to hear it. Congratulations on the story.
Okay, that's pretty well it. It's a final reminder. The long lists will be posted to the CWA website this evening, and the shortlist will be announced at a date in the summer, yet to be confirmed. Thank you all for coming.